Good afternoon and Jai Hind to all my dear children. I hope you all enjoyed your summer camp and learned a lot of new things. So, again, the summer camp is over and now we are back to our normal classes at home through Zoom or through WhatsApp. Now in this LS class, Oishi ma'am will tell you or discuss about the RFP book, The Snow Queen's last chapter, that is chapter number 6, The Snow Queen's Palace. Now before we proceed, I will quickly tell you exactly what happened in the first 5 chapters. There were two friends, one was Gerda and one was Kay. These were two friends as well as neighbors. So Gerda's grandmother was telling them stories one winter evening and both of them were listening very quietly, but suddenly there were some changes in Kay. There was a wicked person, he was Troll, and Troll used to carry a magic mirror with him. And what used to happen? Every good things appeared to be small and every bad thing appeared to be larger. And then by mistake that mirror slipped away and fell down from the hands of the troll, and the small pieces of the glass entered into Kay's eyes as well as near his heart, and his behavior changed and he could not see any good things in anything. And he went out to play with the boys on the street and he saw a big sledge pass by, and he wished that he could go with that white big sledge, and so he went away with the Snow Queen. And Kay is left behind now, Gerda is left behind, and she wanted to find out where is his dear friend Kay. And she wore her red shoes, new red shoes, and she started to look for him. And she went out to the river and said, River, if you promise to tell me where is my friend Kay, I will give you this red shoes. So she threw the shoes at the river, but the poor river did not know where her friend is, so it could not say. And Gerda saw a boat nearby, and she went into the boat, she boarded the boat, and she rowed to the other side of the bank. And there she met a old lady, and the old lady was wearing a hat with a lots and lots of flowers like this. And she said that she was a very lonely lady and she wanted Gerda to stay with her. So what happened? Now she offered a bowl of cherries, that was the cherries of forgetfulness, and a magical comb to comb the hair, and that comb was also the comb of forgetfulness. So slowly Gerda forgot her friend Kay and grandma and started living with the old lady. And with the magic wand, what did the old lady do? In her magical garden, she vanished all the beautiful roses so that Gerda will not be able to remember anything about Kay or grandma anymore. But what happened? That old lady was clever, but not this much clever. She forgot to disappear all the flowers on her hat. So one day, when Gerda saw the roses on her hat, she remembered, oh no, I have wasted so much time. Now what will happen? Quickly, she started looking for Kay and started crying, and the teardrops fell on the ground and the roses started blooming. And what happened? And she opened the gate and she ran away, and there she met a crow. The crow told Gerda that it saw that there was a person who looked like Kay, and he was in the castle with the princess. And Crow said that, okay, I can take you to the prince and princess. I think that is your friend Kay. Now Gerda was very desperate to find where Kay is, so she ran and went to the castle. Over there she saw the princess and the prince, but alas, the prince was somebody else, and it was not her friend Kay. And she told the entire story to the prince and princess, and they decided to help her. So the next morning, with the essential items, they sent along with her a gold coach and a new pair of mittens and shoes. And what happened? And with that, she went to the forest. And over there, she was caught by a lot of men, and it was the Roberts woman gang that caught hold of Gerda and her gold coach, and everything was taken away for her, and she was taken as a prisoner by the robber woman. And robber woman was just wanted to eat her, when the robber girl told her, stop, don't dare to do anything like this, because I will take Gerda as my friend, as my playmate. And over there, what happened? She saw that there were 100 doves and one reindeer and a pair of wood pigeons, and these were kept as the pets of the robber woman and the robber girl. So again, Gerda told reindeer and the wood pigeons the stories, and story of Kay, and how did he lose her friend. And then the reindeer said that, okay, I think so, there's a Finnish woman there, and I will be taking you there. And next day, when the robber girl heard the story, she promised Gerda that she will help her, but she has to give away her new mittens. But Gerda did not mind. He said, as long as I can find my friend Kay, I am okay with everything. So the reindeer took her away to the Lapland. Now with this we ended the fifth chapter. Now we will start with the sixth chapter. So they came to the Finnish woman, and she spoke to them and told them what she knew. Yes, she said, Kay is a prisoner of the Snow Queen, but he likes it there in her cold palace of ice and snow. That is because of the splinter of glass in his eyes and in his heart. Those must go. Only then he will come back to Gerda. Gerda must get them out. Now the Finnish woman told her that there are splinters still in Kay's eyes, and Gerda can only take those small splinter, means a small pieces of glass. So Gerda can only take away that splinter from her eyes, and nobody else can. How can she do that? Cried the reindeer. She is only a little girl. And he begged the woman to give Gerda some magic power. Now the reindeer was very afraid that how will Gerda do that? Right, because she's a small girl. And the reindeer said, please, you give some magic power to Gerda so that Gerda can also do something. But the old Finnish woman cried, no, no, I can't do that. For Gerda's goodness and love and courage have more power than the magic in the world. Now she said that I cannot do anything. Gerda was so good. Her love for her friend Kay was so much, and she was so courageous that will act anything more than the magic power. And she gave the reindeer the direction to get to the Snow Queen's country in the far north. She lifted Gerda onto his back, and the reindeer went like a wind over the snow-covered country. So the reindeer was very excited, and it wanted to help Gerda in every way possible. So it took Gerda on its back and just rushed like the wind. Good luck, she called out to them. Oh, my boots, cried Gerda, my mittens. Now her boots and mittens were all left behind, and she forgot to put it on. For she had forgotten to put them on while the reindeer was talking to the Finnish woman. Now with this we came to page number 23. And while the reindeer was talking to the Finnish woman, Gerda did not wear the boots and the mittens. But she doesn't even mind that. But the reindeer wouldn't stop. He ran on and on until he reached the edge of the Snow Queen's garden. Now ultimately they have reached the Snow Queen's garden. There he put down Gerda and said goodbye to her as tears rolled down his cheeks. The reindeer was so much attached to Gerda. So when they reached their destination, now Gerda has to go and save her friend. And reindeer has like reindeer has helped her come till this point, and the reindeer was very happy that she could help Gerda, and Gerda was also very happy that some friend, at least now she will be able to save Kay. And both of them were crying. The reindeer has tears in his eyes, and because it was saying goodbye to Gerda. Then he turned and ran back, and Gerda had to make her journey alone through the Snow Queen's fearful garden. There was ice and snow everywhere, and the Snow Queen's guard came rushing towards Gerda. And it was cold, and there was ice everywhere, and the guards came rushing to Gerda, that who is this girl and how did she enter the palace? They looked like wild beasts and monsters. What are wild beast and monster? Those looked like evil person and monsters, very devilish person, not very nice looking people. But Gerda remembered the prayers her grandmother had taught her. Now it's very said that when you are afraid and you can see all bad things happen, so you will keep your eyes closed and you will pray to God, and everything will be sorted out. Everything, God will help you, and every bad thing will vanish in front of you. Same thing happened to Gerda. Gerda remembered what her grandmother has told her, and then she started praying. She started her prayer, and all the that monsters and beasts melted away. In their place came angels to protect her. So the beast and monsters were coming, and Gerda prayed, and every beast and monster vanished, and in their place came angels. Angels means fairies, good people who help people. Full of courage, she walked on barefoot. Barefoot means nange pair. So she did not put the shoes on. She left the boots over there only. So she had no options. She had to she had to walk on the ice barefooted over the ice, and entered the silent palace. Through its big lonely halls she walked until she came to the throne room. And there at the foot of the throne sat Kay, all alone, for the Snow Queen had gone to the southern lands to give them winter. So the Snow Queen was not there. She went further south, and they used to stay in the northlands to give them winters. She knew him at once. Now Gerda recognized that it was Kay, his dear friend. Now what happened? "Oh, Kay!" cried Gerda, running to him. And at once Gerda ran to Kay and said, "Oh, my friend Kay!" But Kay was under the spell and could not recognize her. With this, we came to the next page, that is page number 25, because page number 24 is a picture over here. So, but Gerda recognized Kay, but Kay was under the spell. He could not recognize his friend Gerda. He just stared at her. No, blank staring, as if you don't recognize, you don't remember anything. "Okay," she cried and put her arms around while the tears flowed from her eyes. Now Kay, what happened? Gerda recognized Kay, but Kay did not recognize Gerda. So what happened? She was so happy and she hugged Kay, and Kay did not know how to react. The warm tears fell into Kay's eyes. So Gerda started crying. When we meet a person after a long time, it's खुशी के जो आंसू होते हैं, the tears of happiness. So she was crying, and the tears were rolling down her cheeks. And what happened? And it fell into Kay's eyes, and they washed away the splinter of the glass. And what happened? The small little glass that went into Kay's eyes, it washed away the splinter from the eyes. And they went into his heart, and the ice melted, and the splinter of the glass came out. So, with Gerda's goodness and love and care, the splinter that got into his eyes as well as his heart, that melted away. And the terrible spell was broken. Gerda's love had broken it. Then Kay recognized Gerda and remembered all the happy days of their childhood. She took him by the hand and they came together. Now they came together like this, and they were holding hands in hands. Kay was no longer a prisoner of the Snow Queen. Gerda had freed him. Back they went out of the Snow Queen's kingdom. Over the countryside Gerda had travelled by, they met again all the friends who helped Gerda. Now, on the way back, because Gerda was taking Kay away from the Snow Queen's palace, and on the way they met a lot of people who helped Gerda to reach Kay, and they greeted them all, they thanked them, they bade goodbye and went towards their childhood home. Remember, they used to live in the poorer parts of the city, so they went and they wanted to go to the childhood home. It was there just as it had been. Gerda had left, so the home was exactly like that when Gerda left, in the same condition. Nothing had really changed except that Kay and Gerda were grown up. Now these two children have grown up. They were no longer children. They have grown up, and they were not children any longer. But outside the roses still bloomed, and it was summer, beautiful summer. So it was the summertime, the winter time was gone, and the summertime was there, and the children only grew up, and everything remained the same as usual. With this, we came to the end of page number 25 as well as the RFP book, The Snow Queen. So, the book ends over here, and if you have any queries, any questions, anything, you can ask me on my personal number 9453001892, and I will answer your queries or questions. Until then, you have to read the book The Snow Queen and at home, and then we will discuss the any question and answer if we have to. Okay, till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye from Oishima.